Moving forward.
Right now, a future president could be running as a local candidate on your ballot. This person is vying to represent you, your family, and your community. Do you know what they are and what they stand for? Vote411.org is your tool for accurate and unbiased, up-to-the-minute election information on the candidates running in local races. Just enter your address to get started. Your vote is your power, the power to decide who represents you in 2022 and beyond. Get online, get the facts, and make your voice heard on Election Day.
Moving forward.
Aloha, is this Kawika?
That it is. How are you
Hi,
today,
are
Bill?
you a radio station?
I am a digital podcast, and we're actually working on grabbing some space in Wailuku to start an AM pirate radio station, actually.
So do you go United States wide or just local?
We go international. We're distributed on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple iTunes. We're actually a affiliate with Newsly, which is a Canadian news app that does podcasts.
I watch them all the time.
Awesome.
Usually.
Awesome.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I'm all about having a bigger picture conversation with everybody. So like that's the whole intent of this show is like I want to show that everybody can break bread and talk story together. So in that way it demystifies the whole political agenda process that some people put in their heads and makes them just see them as regular people. And then that way there's conversations at the beginning. From the second you voted in, people know how to talk to you, you know? And then that way we don't
Right.
get lost in all the trivial stuff that's happened in the past decade or two.
Right.
Yeah. So we don't have much time because I got 4 more guys like you today. So let's cut right to the chase, bro. So from the top, so everybody knows who you are, please let us know who you are and what office you're running for.
Hi, my name is William Halversen, and I am campaigning for the County Council seat District 2, Hilo, Hawaii.
Hilo, right on, bruh. So we talked to a few council members so far, and what I've been asking from each of them is to help explain to the community what your job does. So that way they know how to talk to you and engage with you better. Because I find that there's a lot of issues with people knocking on the wrong politician's door, on the wrong bureaucrat's door, and they like complain, but they don't realize that they were knocking on the wrong door. So if you guys all tell them what you do, they never have no excuse.
My belief in what a councilman's job is to create the jobs, put the people to work so they can save up for their vacations and their free time. I believe that they should control the county properties and turn them into a profit.
Right on, right on. So your fiduciary responsibility to the community as a council member, key, very key. So with that being said, what makes up the history of Mr. Halversen here that makes him a great potential to lead our community and help it out?
I'm not a politician. I'm not a Democrat or a. I'm just a person that worked all his life hanging drywall, and I've been here 22 years, and I've watched this place deteriorate, Hilo deteriorate, and it's not going up, it's going down. The percentage of our tourists aren't here. It's like we're 60% low on our tourists, and I have ideas how to bring them back or make them talk about their wonderful vacation to Hilo. I'm more specifically, I am zeroing in on the Hilo High School 12th graders. I would like to see. I was here when Linda Lingle was governor, and her motto was "No child gets left behind," and I agree with that. And I want to pick up where Michelle Obama left off: "No child gets left behind," or "No child goes hungry." There's about 3,500 acres of state land that I would like to lease for Hilo High School's economics development class and label it agricultural 101 and start with food and medicine. There's a lot that could be done.
Interesting. Fantastic idea. So, have you been reaching out with like the principals and talking with them?
Last year I tried to speak with the principal. She gave me a few minutes of her time, but this year when I went back, she didn't remember me. But I gave her my flyer, and she said if she was in the position of endorsing me, she would. But for some reason, her hands are tied.
Well, I don't think it's really a matter of endorsement, but the great relationship one could procure with the principals. Because as far as I had a really good conversation with a state representative the other day, and she was saying that a lot of what gets in the way of coordinating these efforts for feeding the children right now is the state has all of this money that is ready and waiting, but the principals sit as the fiduciary of the school. And what that means is they handle all the bulk orders. They talk with the vendors and the contracts with the lunch ladies. And so there is some disconnect happening. And maybe as a council member, you could help with that.
I would love to.
So
I would love to. Yeah. I would love to get involved with Hilo High School on all bases. I want to guarantee them once they're graduated, they decide they want to go to community college or the University College of Hilo. I want to guarantee them a place to live, a job, and a car if necessary, so they can continue their lives. I don't want to invest any money into the child that's picks up and leaves because there's no future for him here. I want to create a future for our youth.
You're preaching to the crowd on that one, bro. I mean, my grandparents left when they were kids. They joined the United States Marine Corps and left what little land they had behind and started a new life. It is only by that providence that I was lucky enough to make my trek back across the Pacific. But I'm very, very happy that that's a common thread amongst all the candidates right now. Everybody's looking out for the keiki because we're tired of them leaving.
Yes, my kids went to school in the school system here, and my one daughter wanted to be a veterinarian doctor, and there was no place on the island to teach it. But she never got her dreams because she couldn't afford it elsewhere. But there's a piece of property on Hilo High School's premises, which is about 3 acres square. I would like to put in a medical, a dental, and an eyeglass doctor, and there is enough room to put in a veterinarian school.
Interesting. Very interesting. So we only have so much time. So I'd like to be able to cover some other subjects with you.
Hello?
Hello? Sorry about that.
There's about 14 properties that are county properties, and those are the properties I want to work with. 3 of the properties are big enough to put in 2 2-bedroom, 2-story apartment complexes. There's a Lincoln Park. I don't know if you're familiar with the Big Island, Hilo, but there's a park called Lincoln Park. I would like to put in a miniature golf thing there for parents and kids, single parents, maybe with real small children, to play with each other and have fun and play free miniature golf.
Interesting. I like that. I mean, there's a little bit of fun to that. I think the community should be investing in morale as well. That's a very interesting approach to it. So
There's another piece of property called Kawika Park, and it's in the middle of downtown. I would like to hold not hula. I forgot the word now. Shoot. Where hula's luau. I would like to hold luau's there on Sunday mornings and coordinate the boats, the ships to come in on Sunday morning, like around 8 o'clock. By the time they're all on load, it's 10:30, and they're at the Kawika Park having a free luau.
Be a great way to subsidize lost food in the community. I mean, we have a lot of waste going on, especially and that's a big thing as well, as far as like waste management problems going on and homelessness issues. So anything beyond the feeding, what's on your platform?
Excuse me? What's on my platform? What?
Yeah, beyond that, I'm just asking next, beyond what we've just discussed. What else you have on the horizon?
I know that Aaron Chung put away $4 million for the homeless, and I would like to utilize my portion of that to pay the homeless or whoever wants to go to work at different phases. I have 4 phases that I would like to introduce. The first one is agriculture. The second one is affordable health care, which we've talked about, affordable housing, which we talked about, and tourism, which we talked about. I would like to just coordinate a profit, and I would like to take one property and what I'd like to do is host a Aerosmith concert, put it on DVD and CD, sell the CDs and the DVDs for a profit, take the profit and build an automotive center and start selling car insurance for $15 a month.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of stuff that would definitely be suited for conversation with those running for governor.
Yeah.
So as far as stepping out into the council goes, as far as your communication with the community, how has your outreach been so far?
The only place that I've ever done outreach was in Glenwood Park, and I was a resident in Glenwood it's up in the mountains, and I was a part of their community for 2.5 years. I was a volunteer fireman up in the mountains, and we orchestrated building houses or fixing up houses for the elderly. And then I not accidentally, but I became homeless, and I moved to Hilo, and that's when I started getting interested in politics. Even though I'm not a politician, I'm an entrepreneur with a big dream.
Well, I think that everybody should think of themselves as a politician at one point. I mean, if you're running for the people, I think we get a little distracted by the term politician and associate it with a very select crowd when, I mean, we have to remember that even peanut farmers have become president, so why not one drywall guy become council member, right?
Right. But I want to promise the kids, the high school graduates, a job, a place to live, and need be a car if they go to school.
Fantastic. So, one question that I'm trying to ask every candidate is, what's your advice to the community on what they can do for the community in the meantime?
I don't know.
Maybe we should find out together. I'll ask around in Hilo. I got a lot of other guys on the phone for that one. But
okay.
Do you feel there's anything else we could cover about your campaign that you'd like to bring up?
Just that this is my fourth time campaigning for the county council seat, and every time I get up and talk about my campaign, it's I don't think that I'm going to win. It's just that the person that does win takes consideration on my game plan and puts some of it into action. It's more of like, if I can't do it, at least somebody do it, because it's a step in the right direction for District 2.
Absolutely. And I think that's a good thing that all candidates should think about as we approach the primaries, when it looks like their window might be closing, but they could create a good allyship. So no matter who ends up at the top, so long as everybody who came up for the community talks to each other and trades their mana'o and what they have to offer, then those who take office should probably heed their advice and consider it.
I spoke with Maurice, and I gave him he ended up with one of my flyers that I pass out on Bayfront, and he liked my ideas and everything, and we sat and had lunch together, and some of his views are basically the same. His ideas were along the lines of my ideas.
Right on, man.
Anyways, I still think I got a better game plan than anybody else.
Well, then could you tell everybody how to tune into that game plan? How do we find your website, what social media you're on, how to get in contact you, and where you're going to be talking story next?
That's a hard one because I'm independent. I don't have the funds to set up all these things you've mentioned. To set up a website, I can't afford it, and I'm nickel and diming. I'm using last year's stock to get me through this year's campaign.
Copy that. Well, at least if you got like an Instagram or Facebook, I could share with the crowd.
All I got is Gmail, and if you Gmail me, I'll send you my literature.
Right on. There we go. I will put your email up, and that's how we will kukui your attention for now.
That's about the only way that I can communicate, other than stand out in front of a Sally shop on Bayfront.
Hey, well, at least you're standing out there, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you for giving me the time.
Absolutely.
And can you text me or email me your email address just in case I can't find it?
Absolutely.
Because I want to mail you one of my flyers.
Absolutely, bro. I'll make sure to send you everything after we get your episode in the can and we get you ready, and we'll have a nice little thing that you can hand out and tell people where this conversation was and everything.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, bro. Mahalo.
Bye.
Aloha.
Rabbit Holes is a Manava Cow production. This episode was produced by Kawika Hoke and Sarah Rodriguez. Make sure to subscribe and follow on your favorite podcast platforms to add our weekly episodes to your queue.